We're going to talk about RMA process of replacing a motor that is being shipped to you by Bodycraft. When we ship you a motor, it's going to come in a box like this. For the old series and all the new series, these are the only 4 tools you need to take the motor that you've already taken out of the treadmill and putting it into the box. So let's go through the different motors that we have. So over here we have the blue series, the 200M, 400M, 800M DC motor. This is a solid flywheel. It's attached to the motor and you have a fan on the end. So when we ship you the motor, it's not going to have the fan on it. So you're going to have to replace the fan with the snap ring pliers. The new series, the 800 DC and the 400 DC, and also the Spacewalker, they all have built-in cooling fans in the flywheels. You can see they're all built in there. Alright, and then the AC treadmill, it's built in, so there's nothing external on the side on all the new series. Now the mounting of these motors, because we're shipping them to you with the flywheels are attached. Since we're shipping them to you with the flywheels attached, there's a lot more weight. And what can happen is it can get bent, or the bottoms can get cracked. As you can see, here's the bottom was cracked. Now I'll show you a flywheel here. This was just shipped in a foam box, and when it came back to us, you can see it's all bent. So you're going to have 2 pieces of wood. One that's going to be with the bolts. You're going to be the inner bolts and the rubber in the middle. And that's going to be for the Spacewalker, the T100. You're going to use the wider bolts and the rubber on the outside, which is going to support the flywheel, for the blue series, the T800, the T400, or the 1000 AC motor. So we'll go through in a minute and take it out and show you how we replace it. Well, this is the way we're going to send you a motor, either a DC or an AC motor. I'm going to show you ways of opening it. When you use a knife, you don't need to open it all the way, just enough to cut through here. You can open it up. Now save all your packaging, because this keeps it nice and snug in here. And you'll notice I have this in here nice and snug on the side. So I'm going to move everything here. I'm going to take the motor and I'm going to tilt it on its side. I'm going to pull it out like that. Very easy. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to put this upright. Now remember, I got 2 per side. Now I'm going to unbolt the motor, and if you notice there's an arrow here. The arrow is the face of the flywheel and the pulley. So this one here, this is the blue series. It's an 800M, 400M motor. So I know it's going to need the fan for cooling to be put on. So let me take this off. And these are 9/16 or 14 millimeter. And it's real important to make sure that the bolt is coming from the bottom up, not down with the nuts at the bottom. And then on here, this is for the, if you notice, it'll say the 400M, 800M, this is where the rubber goes for the flywheel. If it's for the spacewalker, then it will go right here in the middle. So this is the new motor. The old motor. We have to take the fan off and put it over here. And if you notice, this fan has a lot of dirt inside. So I get a snap ring, pliers. And if you notice, it's nice and circle. If you take it off and it's overstretched, see how that's overstretched? It'll never go back on. It'll never hold the fan on. So that's why you can use the pliers and you can make it round again. So we're going to pull the fan off. And the keyway is built in the fan. If you notice, it has a lot of dirt. Probably one of the reasons the bearings burn up or it got too hot. It had a lot of dirt in it. And I could just try to get rid of the dirt. Or if I have a vacuum or an air compressor, so I'm taking the fan off. Now this motor I'm going to ship back. So if you notice, the flywheel is going to go where the rubber is. All right, so now that I have that on there, I'm just going to throw in the washers. I'm going to throw in my lock nuts. Remember, you need the washer or this base will crack. And a lot of times I can tighten it until I can see it spinning. So I'm going to push down. And it's starting to spin. Now, I'm going to torque it. Now that it's on here, I'm going to confirm that the rubber is where the flywheel is for the Blue Series 800M, 400M, 200M, or the T400 or the T800. The flywheel is, there's a space from where the base is to the flywheel. So when this is shipped and it's being thrown around in a box, this shaft doesn't get bent. All right? So let me torque it down now. And I'm going to want about 20 pounds of pressure, so 20 pounds of torque. And then I always like to take the wires and get them out of the way. Because if these wires get all damaged, we have to repair the motor. And we don't want to invoice you for a new motor. So it's all torqued and ready. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. Then I'm going to put on the new motor. I'm going to put on the flywheel. So find the keyway. I confirm that this is nice and round. I don't want to overstretch it. I stretch it just enough to go over the shaft. And you can hear it go snap. After it goes snap, just on one of the circles, spin it and check that it doesn't come off. And then now this motor can be taken and put into the treadmill. Now let's put this back in the box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my box, and we sent you a shipping label with it. We'll hold on to that. So there's a couple ways I can do this. I can slide the motor in now and put the foam on, or I can put the foam on now. I find it easier to take the motor, and I kind of have it in there a little bit. And I just kind of slide it in. Then I pick it up. Now if you notice, there's a gap here. That's what this one's for. So you roll it, and you just kind of shove it in that gap. And that's good. And there's a little bit of space here from the motor. I always find it easier to go in the middle first and then do the sides. I want to make sure that this motor doesn't come out. And then we're going to do it twice. So it's bound in the middle, bound on each side, and twice in the middle. Then I'll put my shipping label on. Now it's ready to be shipped and sent back to Bodycraft.